I remember the moment she said she was pregnant. Rain tapped outside. The kind of light mist that makes the world seem pure, almost untouched. Claire stood in the kitchen doorway, one hand wrapped around a mug, the other shaking slightly. Her eyes were swollen, not from happiness, but from a truth she hadn't spoken yet. Ethan, she breathed. We're going to have a baby. I smiled on instinct. I had dreamed of this for years. Ever since our wedding, the word we hit me like sunlight after endless clouds. I walked over, held her tight, felt her heart pounding against mine. I thought it was excitement. Now I know it was shame. For the next few weeks, I floated in a haze. I set up the nursery, brushed the walls in soft sage green, and began reading those new dad guides she once joked about. She seemed quieter than before, distant. When I asked what was wrong, she'd grin and say, "Hormones, babe. It's fine." But there was something dim in her gaze. They looked burdened, as though she was hiding a truth heavier than the life inside her. It started slipping apart after dinner one night. We were on the couch watching some pointless sitcom. Her phone buzzed. She jumped, snatched it too quickly. The screen flashed a name, Mark. I didn't know any Mark. Who's that? I asked, lightly. She froze. Work friend. Her voice was tight, uneasy. My chest tightened. Work friend. I'd heard that line before. Over the next few days, I saw signs. Midnight messages, quick showers before sleeping. Her phone flipped down. I convinced myself I was paranoid, that she was just adjusting to being pregnant. But when trust begins to fracture, every sound feels like confirmation. 1 week later, I got a text from an unknown contact. You should get a paternity test. That was all. No name, no context, just that sentence. I stared at it for what felt like hours, the words burning through my ribs. When she returned home, I asked her, "Claire, is there something you need to tell me?" Her face shifted, as though she'd imagined the scene 100 times. What do you mean? I showed her the message, her face lost all color. Ethan, please don't. Don't. What? Asked, my voice shaking. Don't ask if the baby you swore was mine actually is. She sat down, fingers shaking, tears streaming down her face. But I couldn't tell if they came from remorse or fear. After a long pause, she muttered, "I made mistakes." The phrase felt too small for the wounds it held. How many? I asked softly. Her mouth opened. 4. I remember standing there, not even angry, just empty, as if she were listing numbers on a bill. She tried to explain it was a phase, that she felt lonely, unseen, that once it started she couldn't pull herself out. Every sentence made her shrink in my heart. And now I said, "You believe it's mine?" She nodded, sobbing. "Yes, Ethan. It must be, not is." That night I lay on the couch. I watched the ceiling until morning, listening to the rain again, wondering how love could decay so quietly, while two people still said, "I love you." Every morning she made breakfast like nothing was broken. Eggs, toast, orange juice. The scent once gave me comfort. Now it made me feel sick. "I'll take the test," I said, keeping my voice steady. She froze, spatula suspended. "Ethan, please don't do this." "Why not?" "If you're sure it's mine, then there's nothing to fear." Her eyes filled with tears again. But I didn't move. I just stood there, feeling the first real space between us. Not the emotional one, but something colder. It was the gap between reality and lies. The results took 7 days to arrive. 7. Slow, silent days where the walls seemed to whisper what we both refused to admit. Claire avoided me, drifting around like a ghost, folding laundry already folded, scrubbing things already clean. I went to work, came back, slept in silence. On the 7th day, I got the email. Short, clinical, merciless. That was it. No feelings, no excuses, just a mathematical end to what I believed was a beginning. I stared at the screen for a while, my reflection faint in the glass. I didn't even feel fury anymore, just a deep tiredness sinking into my bones. When I walked into the living room, she sat on the couch staring at her phone. She lifted her head, eyes swollen, waiting for me to speak. It's not mine, I said. Her face broke. Ethan, I'm sorry. Don't. I cut in. You don't get to use that word anymore. I didn't scream. I didn't throw anything. I just sat across from her, the same space we used to close with one touch. Who's the father? I asked. She said nothing, just wept harder. Was it one of the 4? I asked. Or someone else? Ethan, please. She whispered. It doesn't matter. I want to fix this. I laughed. Not because it was funny, but because of how pathetic it sounded. Fix this. As if loyalty was a cracked mug. As if love could be repaired after shattering into something so cruel. You want to fix this, I murmured. Then say the truth. She inhaled slowly and muttered. It was Mark, the same name that flashed on her phone weeks ago. The same work friend. I nodded lightly. How long? She shut her eyes. Almost a year. The air escaped my lungs in one long, drained breath. A year. That meant, while we planned vacations, laughed at shows, pretended to be fine, she'd already chosen someone else. I stood, walked to our room, packed a bag. She followed, crying, grabbing my arm like her tears might rewrite time. Ethan, don't go. I'll do anything. Therapy, counseling, whatever it takes. I stared at her. Really? Stared and saw a stranger wearing the face of the woman I once adored. You already did everything, I said. That's the issue. I left that night. No screaming, no slamming. Just soft steps across the wood. And the quiet click of the lock behind me. I checked into a cheap motel by the highway. Weak coffee, buzzing lights, and quiet. For the first time in months, I slept through. In the next weeks, she texted almost daily. Apologies, pleading, vows. Each shorter than the last until they finally ended. When the divorce papers arrived, I signed without reading them twice. People think the worst part of betrayal is the moment you discover it. It's not. The hardest part is the days after, waking up realizing you still miss the one who broke you. That some part of you still wants to believe it was just a nightmare. But dreams fade, and so did she. Months later, I heard from a friend that she'd had the baby, a boy. I didn't ask for photos. I didn't need them. That chapter ended the moment she said we're going to have a baby and meant I'm going to have a baby. Sometimes, when I drive past that old house, I think about how small things start. A lie here, a secret there, until you wake up and realize love has turned into a bargain of guilt. But I also discovered something. Peace doesn't come from knowing why someone hurt you. It comes from accepting you'll never fully know and choosing to live anyway. I'm not resentful. Not now. Betrayal doesn't define me. It just released me. The rain still comes some nights when I remember her. But now, when it does, I don't hear sorrow in it. Just quiet. And quiet, I've learned, is the sound of finally letting go.